for the second. India have won the test match. India have won the series. They're going to get back for two.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the 81 All Out podcast. This is your host, Siddhartha Vaidyanathan. And I'm thrilled to be joined by two very special guests today. For the first time on 81 All Out, we have not one but two former international cricketers on the same show. Both played test and one-day cricket for India. Both were giants of the domestic game. And now both are commentators and experts who share their insights with viewers on television and as well as on social media. First up, a guest we have had on our show before, former India and Karnataka batsman Vijay Bharadwaj. Welcome, Vijay.
Thanks, Sid.
Yes, lovely. We have had Vijay before talking about his lovely experiences with street cricket in Bangalore. And that was quite a hit of an episode, actually. So great to have him back again. And also on 81 All Out today, we have the former India and Tamil Nadu batsman, Tamil Nadu legend, in fact, Hemang Badani. Thank you so much for joining, Hemang.
Pleasure to be here, Sid. And before you go any further, I just heard you say that you had a great show with Vijay Bharadwaj, and I'm not surprised because he loves to talk.
Before we start off, I would like to clarify one thing, and I would like to appreciate Sid. You said Hemang is a legend. You corrected yourself. That's the nice thing to do.
No, I wonder what you mean by that. We'll probably take this offline some other time, Mr. Vijay.
My good old friend Hemang. We'd love to have this companion. So
it's great to see this banter already. And so today we're going to talk about one of the most storied rivalries in Indian domestic cricket, the one between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. And both these cricketers have taken part in a number of great contests between the two sides. And so we thought it'll be great to have them relive their memories and, talk to us about the essence of this great rivalry. Something that, followers of cricket have observed for a long time, and people from both sides of the Cauvery divide, if we were to say, are very fond of talking about. So let's start first by asking both of you, what was your earliest memories of playing against the respective teams? So Vijay, maybe you can start by talking about your early experience of your early memories of playing against.
Yeah, I was anyways going to say, let the senior man talk. Let the senior man talk first.
Glad that you
go ahead.
Glad
Vijay.
that you told me senior, not an old man. Like
I'm kind to my friends.
My earliest memory of playing Tamil Nadu was my first game was in Chepauk. That was way back in 1993-94. One of the best games I have played. Tamil Nadu had a fantastic team, and Hemang was playing juniors, I guess. Then we had V.B. Chandrasekhar as a captain, Robin Singh, W.V. Raman. You name the legends of Tamil Nadu cricket, they were there. D Vasu, Sunil Subba. Brilliant team they had, and what a contest it was, because we had Anil Kumble as the captain of the team, and that was one of the best games I have played across, because that was an eye-opener for me. It was fun, it was thrilling, it was tense, and the first time when one of my senior cricketer, Jashwant, scored a brilliant 100 to save that game on a turning track against Divakar Vasu, Venkatramana and Sunil Subba, and came to the dressing room and said, "Boss, if you want to be remembered as a cricketer, you need to score runs against Tamil Nadu. Not Aira, Gaira, Goa, Kerala, with due respect to." That's the dialogue which you told me. And that was the first time and I went and asked Anil Kumble. I told him, what Jashwant is saying, what do you mean by first-class cricketer? I've already played. And when Jessie told me, this gentleman doesn't look like a first-class cricketer. He looks like a mathematics teacher. I don't know from where the selectors caught hold of him. And that was the game in Chepauk. Under the stands, it was hot, it was humid, and I was shivering. In the dressing room, Jashwant told me that you don't fit into the side as a first-class cricketer. That was the biggest eye-opener for me. And he scored a brilliant 100 that game. And I then realized that Tamil Nadu, Karnataka is not child's play. So that was my first memory in Chepauk against Tamil Nadu. Sid.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think I recently saw an interview that you did as well with Jashwant about that game, and you spoke about how he was perhaps the one of the best players of spin that you have ever seen. So it is lovely to see you talk about it. And Hemang, maybe you can come in here and talk about your earliest memory of playing against Karnataka.
Well, my earliest memory actually was not really playing against Karnataka, was actually more to do with the finals that Karnataka Tamil Nadu played at Chepauk. It was, I think, 96, if I'm not mistaken. And my dear friend who has got a little old now was a young man then, was in his prime of his life, batting beautifully. If I remember correctly, Vijay got 100, Rahul Dravid got 100. I think, is that correct? Like my memory may be a little wonky, but is that appropriate? Is it correct?
Correct. Yeah, what you're talking about is the
I
96
remember seeing
final.
it from the stands because I was there as a young kid, about 18 years old, just about playing state cricket, junior cricket. Went on to play for the national side in under-19s that year, and that's when I made my debut the next year. But I remember that we had our state camp happening at that point in time. And between after the nets, I kind of I knew that Rahul was there. I knew a lot of these superstars from Karnataka were there. I also knew that we had so many great players from Tamil Nadu playing that game. So I didn't want to miss out on that game, and I did look at that game, and I could make out there was something special about that rivalry. Both the sides, though Tamil Nadu was outbeaten, outscored that game, you could sense that there was something special to these matches. There was something special to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. After the game got over, I spoke to Sadagop and Ramesh. Ramesh told me, Macha, if you have to succeed at the highest level, these are the teams that you have to score well. Karnataka is the side that whenever you do get to play, you will have to lift your game. You will have to kind of make it a point that we score runs against Karnataka. One, it's valued in the domestic circuit that you get runs against them. And two, we've always had this thing with Tamil Nadu, Karnataka for many, many years. I don't know why, but I've always had this exciting, challenging, this nervous feeling that I had against the Karnataka boys. We've always had great fun off the field, but I'll tell you what, on the field, we did not give each other an inch. I mean, there was always something or the other happening on the field all the time. But yeah, the first memory of me was watching the game as an 18-year-old. It was the TN Karnataka Ranji finals. It was 96, I think. Yeah.
That was a leather hand for Tamil Nadu, I guess. One full day wicketless, probably.
Did I ask you anything?
No, I'm just started. I've not done anything.
I said what I had to say. I already said we were outscored. Can we leave it at that? Speak when you're spoken to.
This is the language which I heard even on the ground.
No, I'm just kidding.
You know what? See, as Hemang was saying, yeah, that was one of the best games because for the first time, Karnataka was playing Tamil Nadu in the finals of a Ranji Trophy, and Tamil Nadu had one of the fantastic sides. I said it was a full side, and this was the second time we were scoring 700 runs in the same season. One in Bhadravati in a league stage, and again here in Chepauk. It was humid, hot. It was like April's probably midsummer. I guess it was a packed Chepauk stadium.
You're just very, very soft. Being used to the Bangalore kind weather. Cricket is a tough game. Cricket is an outdoor sport. Get used to it, or rather, that's how it is. So don't go on about
I always respected Tamil Nadu players only because of that. I always respected Tamil Nadu players only because of that. Hottest. Three weathers have. I don't know how they manage, man. Seriously,
imagine the fast bowlers bowling in that heat.
Yeah.
I can still understand me being a batsman, but imagine the fast bowlers.
Correct. Vijay, I want to bring in that game in Bhadravati actually, because in the previous podcast you had brought it up, and I want to talk about you were young then, you were just coming into the team, one of the one of your early years. I want to talk about the pressure that you faced in that game and in the other games like that. A young person playing against Tamil Nadu in a very high pressure situation. Can you relive that game a bit?
It gives me goosebumps, man. Seriously. I was just 18-year-old, in that 18, 19-year-old. And the previous one or two games, I had not scored runs, much of runs. 27 was my highest. And Roger Binney called me and said, this is the last innings. This is the last game. If you don't score runs, you'll be out of the team. Because such a fantastic side we had. And if I look at the Tamil Nadu side, you'll get shivers. What a bowling attack it had. Superb bowlers. You had Divakar Vasu, Sunil Subba, Venkat Ramana, S. Mahesh, Gokul. You name them, you had Robin Singh. And then on the day of the game, I'm sitting there with 20,000 people in that, because that's a Mofussil Center. 20,000 people in that stadium, in that Sir M. Vishwesvaraya Stadium. And first over, Sirugupi gets out. I am at number 3 and Rahul at number 4. They said, we'll promote you, you bat at number 3. When I went into bat, from start of the first over to the lunch, I had not touched a single ball. I was getting beaten, I was getting hit because that was a damp wicket. In 36 overs, we had scored 33 runs and we had lost 1 wicket. And I came to the dressing room in the lunch during the lunch time, and I was crying. I didn't know what to do because it's so much pressure. So I'm a kid, I didn't know what to do. Then next I decided, first after the lunch, I'll go and then smash them. That's the only way I knew how to play. First ball, I step out for estimation, hits him out of the ground next to side screen for a 6. Between lunch and tea, I'm batting 123. Between lunch and tea, Sujit is batting 153. At the end of the day, we were some 300 and odd for just 2 or 3 wickets and 700 runs in that game. That was my revival game. If you ask me, even today, I have scored about 4 or 5 hundreds in about 6 games against Tamil Nadu. That is one of my favorite teams. But that 100 was the one which revived my career. And everybody appreciated that. And that gave me a lot of confidence. That was one of the seasons where I could score another 300s in 3 games just because of the confidence I got by playing so well against Tamil Nadu. And that season revived my career, I guess. So you can well imagine in front of a 20,000 crowd, if you get 100 like that, that gives you a boost.
Yeah, that was also, I think, Sriram's debut. And he also got 100 in that game.
174 he got in that game.
Yeah, K. Sriram. Yeah, that, of course, again, another big scoring game. So, Hemang, was there any such game early in your career for you against Karnataka where you, genuinely felt this kind of pressure and you, felt that playing against this team, brought out, needed to bring out some little extra in you?
No, it always did. I mean, I was always told by my seniors, be it W. Raman, be it V.B. Chandrasekhar, or be it Sunil Subramaniam, D Vasu, the guys who were my seniors when I made my debut, even Robin, that Karnataka was a side that you had to get runs against. Karnataka was a side that you had to do well against. And you were always kind of judged on these games where you played the big sides. And Karnataka, obviously, a huge side in domestic cricket. And even as Pinga mentioned earlier about Javagal being there, Anil being there, Rahul being there, David Johnson, Dodda Ganesh, Sunil Joshi. I mean, they had an outstanding, Anand Yalvegi was a little later, the off-spinner. I thought they had a very complete side. Vijay also could at times bowl a little bit. They did have a little success with the ball once in a while. But I'm just on a serious note that it was always a point that when you did play Karnataka, you knew that you had to raise your game. And it takes me to a game, I think it was 97. It was after my first year. I had a reasonable first season in domestic cricket. And in the second season, I was kind of struggling the first 4 or 5 games. But it so happened that this Karnataka game, again, kind of gave me that impetus, gave me that little extra bit that was actually probably required for me to get out there and score those runs. I mean, until then, that season, I didn't even get a 50. I would have got some 20s, 30s, 10s, 20s, and things like that. Even on the verge of being dropped, maybe. But I knew that this was the game, and I had butterflies 2 days prior to the game itself. This was at Chennai Stadium. I remember the game quite clearly. At the end, I did get some 85 not out and all of that. But the point was, it was always the case when you played Karnataka, you knew that there was something happening. You knew that they were at you all the time. You would have J. Arun Kumar standing at Silly Point talking to you all the time. You would have Sirugupi then talking to you all the time. You would have Tilak Nagar only talking all the time. You had Dodda Ganesh at you all the time. David Johnson was at you all the time. Fazal Khalil was at you all the time. It was never a point that you knew that you could just take things lightly.
Is that the game where Dodda Ganesh hit you on the shin?
Yeah. That was the very game when he came and hit me on the shin, and even the game when then David Johnson made a big scene after the game.
You guys came to our dressing room and then fought
in the evening of one of the days.
Hello, for our listeners' purposes, you guys need to expand on this. By the way,
Vijay Bharadwaj on record has lied right now. bloody David Johnson was into my dressing room, threatening me that he'll smash me, and he was threatening me that I will not leave Bangalore. I mean, that was actually quite heated. I mean, I can laugh about it now, but it was quite an intense 10 minutes in our dressing room. Chica was running around. Robin was the guy who actually held on to David Johnson. If not for Robin, me, a skinny little lad then, and not that I'm fat now, but I'm much more skinnier than this, I was for a second, dude, whatever happens on the field, leave it there. It's all done and dusted on the field. What's wrong with you? He actually walked into the dressing room, wanted to hit me, screaming, abusing, and you could see it on his face that he wasn't joking around. You could make out that he was actually serious about it. Thank God for Robin, who was as big as David. Things kind of went away, but that was again a very, very hot game, extremely hot game on the field. Dodda Ganesh coming at me with the hit me on the shin.
No, and what was the trigger for this? Was it just the end of the game got really heated or something?
No, it was on the ground. On the ground, we carried on to the dressing room.
I'll tell you, I kind of remember it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of remember what exactly happened was when I was batting, David kept on abusing. I mean, I was okay with banter. A lot of these guys used to banter, make fun, joke around, and have those comments, which is kind of okay. Now, I mean, later on, I've realized that it's kind of okay to even abuse, and people have done that. But I was still just about 20 then. I couldn't accept him abusing my father, my mother, and things like that. I was taken aback a little bit. But I kept quiet. I batted. We kind of got some runs on board. I think it was 280, 300. Not a big target, but we kind of put some runs on board. And then, as things would have it our way, we had them down. We had them 5-6 down for not too many. David Johnson coming into bat. Then I started off with David, and I didn't keep quiet. I said, let's see if you can bat the way you can bowl, or let's see if you can bat the way you talk. And things like that. And he got a little upset. He said, you're still in your mama's womb and this and that. I said, whether I'm in my mama's womb or whatever, you have to hit the ball right now. You couldn't do much with the much with the ball. Let's see, you can hit the ball at least now while batting. He got really upset. While batting itself, David was like, he forgot about his batting. He was like, you won't leave Bangalore. You won't leave Bangalore. You will not go from here. I'm like, hey, stop giving all these drama and threats and all that. You can't hit a ball right now. What talking about hitting me? And he actually took it seriously. He got out, and I think we got the lead that day. But he took it so seriously that he brought the whole issue back into the dressing room, which I thought was poor. I mean, you mess around on the field, you do whatever on the field. We've all done that over the years. I've troubled Vijay. He's said a few things to me. I remember him getting angry with me once at the Ranji Trophy game. It so happened in that season, they did not have South Zone, East Zone and all that. They had that Group A, Group B play test, something like that. And Vijay was playing a final against us. This was in Trivandrum. This was in Thiruvananthapuram. And Vijay generally is not somebody who talks much. He got abusive. He was angry with me. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you now? You are someone who never really gets angry, never really gets disturbed and gets worked up. Vijay was worked up. It was very hot there. It was extremely hot in Trivandrum. We were all done, probably the last match of the season. We were all looking to go back home. So kind of things were heated up. But coming back to the game that we were talking about earlier, the 97, things kind of got out of hand. But luckily, no injuries. I'm still here, alive and kicking.
So what was this about somebody hitting you on the shin? Was that David?
No, that was Dodda Ganesh.
Oh, in the same match?
Yeah. Very much in the same match.
Fast bowlers hunt in pairs.
If you can't get them out, hit them out.
No, Hemang, I'll tell you. These two gentlemen were hardcore competitors. We ourselves couldn't manage them inside our dressing room. How do you expect?
That's not the word I would use for Dodda or David Johnson. You cannot use the word gentleman for both of them.
Right, one. So difficult to handle them, but they gave their hearts out. I mean, they never cared for anybody. They, at the end of the day, they just wanted to bowl. You need characters like that. Don't you agree with me, Hemang?
It's good to have them on your side, not to have them as opponents. No, but on a serious note, what you're saying is absolutely fair. I mean, you rather have your fast bowlers giving it all, coming hard at the opponents. You want people like that in your side. You need to have a few characters in your side. And in those years, you could do all of that. I mean, today's day and age with your referee and fines and all that, no chance David Johnson would have survived. No chance. Every second game he would have been out of the game. Every second game he would have been asked to leave, or he would have been banned for a game or two. But that was the era that we could get away with that. And I thought I quite enjoyed it. I mean, I think cricket in that era was a little more tougher in the sense that with regards to all of that, you had to put up with characters, you had to put up with people getting under your skin. So when I just finished off my last few years of domestic cricket, with the way the system had come into play, I mean, it's probably in the right sense that people didn't, the governing bodies didn't want too many people fighting against each other and having too many incidents on the field. And that's when they had all these bans and fines and all of that. But the times that we played and the times that I was just finishing off at the end of it, it felt like it was so quiet. Hardly anyone said anything. Hardly anyone used to speak anything. Even between the overs, the opponent used to be kind and nice to me and talk to me. I used to wonder if there was not a word or a kind word from an Arun Kumar or a Siruguppi or even Anil Bhai when he used to bowl. Anil Bhai never used to abuse. But you could see it on his face. He meant business. You could see it every time he came into bowl and every time you had to face him. You knew that he was at you all the time. You could feel that heat. But when I was kind of finishing off in the last season or two of mine, I could sense that the bowlers came in hard, they bowled well, and all of that was fine. But the atmosphere was a lot more softer and kinder, which was not the case earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about, heated games and things, there have also been games in which the crowd has got extremely heated as well. And Vijay, you did not play in this game, but I'm sure you have heard a lot of stories about that famous 94 one-dayer where at Chinnaswamy, where Tamil Nadu chased Total and Robin Singh, just hit the bowling all over the park. I think he made 63 in some 35 balls or something, and they chased. And then there were crowds throwing the chairs into the ground, and the match had to be stopped. Then the match resumed, and and most of the players who I've spoken to, the former cricketers, remember that game, and they say that that was a huge blow for Karnataka. And I mean, you must have heard many stories about that game.
Yeah, a lot of stories like that. I still remember that game. I was there in the probables of the Ranji Trophy, and I never was there in the 11 for the one days. And I can still remember Kirmani was fielding and he dropped a catch because Avinash Vaidya was keeping, and that was Robin Singh's. And Srinath was in full force. You could not imagine losing to Tamil Nadu in Bangalore because only a fact is that we had so many India players in the team. Tamil Nadu, with due credit to Tamil Nadu, they had a fantastic one-day side. And Shamchandra Bhatt got 100 in that game. And then I still remember Robin Singh hitting one out of the stadium. After they won the game, they were just walking over the ropes, and then few people started to throw the chairs from the pavilion. It was so dreadful. In fact, our own players went and protected them. They were requesting the crowd not to behave in such a manner because they could not digest the fact that Karnataka has lost to Tamil Nadu in Bangalore after scoring so many runs. In those days, chasing 290, 280 was a myth. In fact, that was unthinkable. So in that regard, we had a virtually Indian bowling attack, and you could not imagine the Karnataka team losing to Tamil Nadu. Yeah, there are so many instances like that, but that instance, crowd went berserk. You could not control it, and the entire management of KC came down, and then they started to control the crowd, and it was all over. I was there in the pavilion, and I also would have thrown one or two chairs, but I controlled myself.
That would have been too much, Vijay.
See, the true colors of a man, are coming out now.
Youngster Ramacha, youngster I was.
Yeah,
so I was very
that's
careful.
exactly how the rivalry was. But I've always seen you to be somebody who was extremely serious and extremely worked up. I've never seen you very calm and relaxed. I mean, you probably weren't somebody who abused, but I've always seen you always in that temper or that high strung. And high strung is the right word. Always high strung,
looks can
batting,
be deceptive,
directing things,
looks
do this,
can be
do
deceptive.
that, here, there, all the time. Yeah, with you it's totally true. Correct. Looks can be deceptive.
I've never abused on the ground, man. Seriously. All my good friends are from Tamil Nadu. I can tell you that
No.
openly. Sadagopan Ramesh, yes, Mahesh, Sharata. VB was a close friend of mine, man. And they had a lot of respect for each other. It's just not about rivalry. I could always admire VB Chandrasekhar, the way he batted, the way he carried himself. People thought he was very arrogant, but I looked at him in a different manner. He was like confidence, man. He was confidence personified. So there are some nice things to say about Tamil Nadu players also. But what inspired us was to get our game to the next level was the competitiveness. People appreciated us back home when he scored runs, got wickets against Tamil Nadu. And that's what exactly Rahul was saying. A lot of credit should be given to Tamil Nadu for grooming some of the Indian cricketers from Karnataka. Like Rahul played a lot of cricket in Chennai. He still is. India Cements. Sujit played. Kumble played for Kemblas. Srinath and Vinky came to MRF. David was there with MRF. Ganesh was there. So you name the cricketers, they had some connect with Tamil Nadu. But imagine that, the contribution, you need to accept that, the fact that even though we played league cricket in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu had a part to play in the development of the cricketers. So we totally appreciate that him. But the only thing was, we used to get intense when we started to play against Tamil Nadu. I still remember the Tirunelveli game. I'm sure you'll also remember. Dorayappan was there, no, as a coach.
Yeah. He was the coach in Tirunelveli, correct.
He was appreciating the Karnataka players in front of Tamil Nadu players. We were laughing it out in the dressing room saying their coach is appreciating and there is a fight going on in Tamil Nadu. During those days, we used to get that kind of a high. And that was not the case with any other team. Probably one Bombay would have inspired us, but not to the extent of Tamil Nadu, man. I think that's one of the best things to have happened. The Karnataka-Tamil Nadu rivalry will always be there, but the respect is always there.
No, likewise, as Vijay also mentioned about that, maybe Tamil Nadu had a big part to play with regards to the development of players from Karnataka. I also felt a lot of it had to do with us also, in the sense that each time we played against Karnataka, we knew that they were a great side. We knew that they were probably playing against the Indian bowling side with Sunil Joshi, David Johnson, with Dodda Ganesh, and let's not forget the superstars in Srinath, Anil Bhai, Venki. So there was always this little weightage and runs against them. So each time we turned out to play against Karnataka, we knew that if we got runs against Karnataka, if we beat Karnataka, be it home or away, there was a certain respect that he got when he got back home. Likewise, what Vijay said, that they felt great beating us, playing against us, and they picked up things with playing against Tamil Nadu. Likewise, I think a lot of my development had to do with playing against Karnataka. I mean, and for that matter, I had a lot of good years with Rahul at India Cements, picked his brains a bit. There was enough and more that we learned from both sides. But on the field, it was always war. I am not even joking. I have not played any other team with the same intensity that I played against Karnataka, be it a Bombay, maybe Bombay to some extent, but otherwise, no. There was no other state side in domestic cricket which was like, okay. And I'll tell you what, when I think back and I reflect back and look at it now, I just wonder why. It was never a case. We took the political issue of the Cauvery water and all of that onto the field. It was never the case about that. Or it was never the case about whatever the governments had against each other. It was purely cricket at all times, but it was war. It was just something which I was told as a kid. You have to win against Karnataka. You have to get runs against Karnataka. You have to beat Karnataka. That's the side to play against. And that's when it got the better of us. And at times, maybe it got us a little vocal about things. And I think Vijay might say the same thing. But it was never a political thing at all. But at all times, when I played Karnataka, it was always war. There was never a game which was quiet. Even the Tirunelveli game, they got about 450 runs. We were on the field for about 170, 180 overs. We were dead on that. We were on the field for 2 days. We had nothing left in our legs. My legs were like lead. But even on that given day, I still remember there was a bowler in our side called Kumaran. He bowled about 40, 45 overs on that ground, in that match. And I remember a spell after lunch, from lunch to tea, which is about 2 hours of play, he bowled non-stop. And at times we used to call him Kenny. Kenny was a dear friend. I even asked him, Kenny, they pour on that. Pour means, in the sense, enough. How many overs will he bowl? No, Macha, it's Karnataka. I will bowl. I will keep bowling until I fall. I will bowl as long as I can. He bowled the entire session. That was the intensity of Tamil Nadu Karnataka. I mean, I still wonder why. Because off the field, I've also got along well with these boys. I mean, I've got along well with whoever these guys are, be it Vijay, be it Jack, be it Fazal, Sujit Somasundar. We've all got along very well. There are times after the game we've gone out, we've had a meal and things like that. But when it came back on the field, it was the same thing. You start fighting against each other the very morning again. But in the evening, things were okay. But I just don't understand why it was, but it was consistently. We were like like as if we were on a kettle or a boiler. All the time there was some spark coming here and there.
Vijay, do you agree with that? That it was less to do with the hardly anything to do with the politics of the situation and the battle between the two governments, and more just to do with pure cricketing intensity?
No, I'll tell you one thing. Politics never came to our mind. I agree with Hemang. So when we also got tense when politics came to our mind, and it was not the case. And we know at the end of the day, even though you deny the fact, people used to talk about in that angle. But that's left to the fans and that's left to others who can decide. But when on the ground, it was purely cricket, as you said. So I'll just give an example to end off what Hemang is saying. When we played for South Zone together, we were the best pals. Okay, where there the political scenario never came to us. We always traveled together. We always stayed in similar rooms. We played cards together. And I still remember a game. I don't know whether Hemang remembers or not. Sriram, Ramesh and Sharath got a brilliant 100 in that Faridabad game, and we chased 480 in the last innings against North Zone, Sidhu, Jadeja. What a side they had. And the kind of egging we were doing, we were virtually inspired by these kind of innings. So we were literally together as brothers, in the sense the camaraderie was fantastic, and the political scenario never came to us. Not even once I've spoken to Hemang or Sharath or Ramesh for that matter about our Cauvery issue or political scenario. Not even I don't remember, Hemang. Not even once.
No, not at all. I'll vouch for it. There's never been the question of governments about the Cauvery issue, the Cauvery water, what's happening in the political scenario. Nothing. It was only that we fought hard on the field and we left things, most times, apart from that one instance, we left it off on the field. It was never carried forward. Even with the zone games, as you mentioned, that I even remember, if you remember or not, the Dodda Trophy we played in the north part of India. We won that year. Venki was there, you were there.
Correct.
Even that year was an outstanding year. We were all together looking to win the championship. We were all at it. Sriram, myself, you, Venki was there, and Jack was there. So it was never anything that we carried forward. It was harsh on the field, but it was left there.
So Sid, what I would like to add one more thing, what Hemang was saying. On a lighter note, what inspired us against Tamil Nadu was the language which came out of Tamil Nadu dressing room. Vidade macha adra day adra. That language, that inspired us a lot.
That actually brings me to a very interesting point.
You should have told me earlier. It would have been much easier. No, I'm saying you should have told me this earlier. Would have saved us a few bloody leather hunts that I had to undergo, man. The Tirunelveli 170 overs of fielding. Then there was this RSI ground when he got a double header in the second innings. I think these were the two times where I was unfortunate to have stayed on the field for a long time. But I think I missed out on a few of them, which was the Bhadravati, which was the Ranji finals. But I think on the whole, Chepauk, I missed out. Thank God for that. But I think the ones that we played after that there was a game again at Karnataka, if you remember that game. I think we lost the lead and then we beat you all outright.
No, that was it. IAF ground, that was. I didn't play that game.
No. This was at Chinnaswamy. There was a game at Chinnaswamy.
I didn't play that game. I played a game where we lost to you.
You might have missed that game.
Yeah, I had a back injury. That's why I was sitting outside. That was a fantastic game. You guys won that game.
That again was an outstanding game. I remember the RSI match also where
RSI was the greatest game, man, I have ever played. RSI, you got runs in it. Sharath got runs in that game, the first innings. Then Faraz Bari got a brilliant 100 against El Balaji. El Balaji got seven in the first, and he got 7 in the second innings. If I'm right. Balaji was at his best with his rivalry. And then Barry played a brilliant innings. We almost won that game. That was a very hard-fought, close game, RSI. Even though I got a double 100 and I was not out, Ashish Kapoor was there, if you remember that game. What a wicket that was. What a game that was. And I cannot forget that. After getting a double 100, if you are on the losing side, imagine the kind of competition you had. So that was a beauty.
But there was also another incident in that game, if you recollect. I remember it quite clearly. I think y'all batted first. Y'all got it early. It was a slightly damp surface.
Damp wicket, yeah.
We got second. Yeah, we were the second to bat. After that, we got some 340, 400. I got 107, got some runs as well. And then you smashed us all around for a double 100. And I think in the end, we had to chase about 140, 150 was what was the target that we had to chase to get an outright. And we were 5 down for nothing. We were 5 down for hardly like 60 odd. The game was evenly poised. And there was this bowler, I keep forgetting his name, Ayyappan. So he bowled a short ball to Sharath and he tries to pull it. It was actually fading light. If you remember, the light was fading. So Sharath was late on it. And there was a catch which was like an absolute dolly of a cotton bowl.
Barry.
The bowler didn't go for it. Barry came in from mid-off and then he just stopped. He stopped and he let the ball fall down. And to my amazement after that, he complains to the umpire, Sir, Hemang Badani came in the way, sir. He came in my way, sir. I was like, what the hell are you talking about, man? What is wrong with you? You did not come for the catch. You let it go. And the bowler let it go thinking you're coming for it. You came in for a couple of steps and you stopped. And like a schoolboy complaining to the teacher, sir, this happened, sir, this happened, sir. I was off the rails, man. I'm like, what is wrong with this kid?
No, I'll tell you what. He was not afraid of you. He was afraid of us because he dropped that catch. He could not imagine himself coming into the dressing room after dropping that catch. That game would have gone to the wire.
I was not even there in the scenario. All of a sudden, he's complaining to the umpire, sir, Hemang came in the way, sir. Hemang came in the way, sir. I'm like, what the hell, Barry, you loose or what? You off your rails or what? Oh, God. That was something, man. Seriously.
So, for our listeners, for context, this is in 2001 when Tamil Nadu beat Karnataka in Bangalore. And this was a thrilling 4-wicket win. So this must have happened towards the end of that game and if they had lost that wicket, it would have gone even more closer perhaps, and it would have been even more tense.
No, we just about won it with 3 wickets in hand or 4 wickets in hand.
Yeah,
that 145 looked like, I think I batted till the end if I'm not mistaken. So it was a question of 1 wicket or 2 wickets and things would have been different.
Seriously, I always felt these things will definitely ignite the imagination of the fans. They always wanted to hear stories about Tamil Nadu, Karnataka. And now it's something like RCB and Chennai, but that doesn't evoke the same kind of emotions. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka's emotions are totally different level, whether it's first class or one day, or you name the competition. But I sometimes wonder, with so many talented cricketers, such talent in Tamil Nadu, still they struggle to win the Ranji Trophy. I don't know for what reason, but I mean, that's the question everybody's asking, even Ashwin asking nowadays. But that's a mystery to me. And I always respected Tamil Nadu cricketers when it comes to talent, because they are brought up in such a harsh conditions when it comes to cricket, wickets, pitches, the weather, the kind of competition, the corporate culture they have. And everybody are so professional in that. But when it comes to Ranji Trophy, I don't know what's the missing point. Sometimes I feel sorry for them, but at the same time, I feel there's something amiss which has not gone down well. Probably in the future years it might happen. I don't know. I mean, that's what I would like to wish them right now.
So that's one thing which I haven't got my hands on, unfortunately. But yeah, that's something which I'll have to live with, because I've been a part of an IPL winning side, a part of the Dodda Trophy, Tulip Trophy for India, for that matter, anything. But I've not had a chance to win that. It's obviously a regret for me in my life. But I'll have to live with it. I'll have to take that to my grave. Can't help much. But as you rightly said, it's something that it's time that we addressed it. I always felt probably one of the reasons that I felt was that we, as a side, struggled with the faster bowlers. We didn't have the same kind of quality that was required to win championships. We had a lot of good batsmen. But I felt that to win domestic cricket, and you're playing in November, December, Jan, Feb, March, which is probably the slightly cooler months in India, for some reason I felt that we probably missed out on having those quality bowlers that maybe say, let's say for instance, a Karnataka had, say for instance, a Delhi had or a Bombay had. Being again, it's tough to have fast bowlers in Tamil Nadu. As Vijay mentioned, hottest. It's not the conducive place to have fast bowlers. So I was always of the impression that that's one reason that we probably struggled on and are even till date struggling. If you talk about fast bowlers in Tamil Nadu, I can just talk of maybe a Balaji who's done something of some repute. But apart from that, we haven't had any. But you talk about just for instance, Karnataka, Venki was there, Sri Java was there, you had Dodda, David, a lot of these guys who did exceedingly well for Karnataka over the years. And if I'm not mistaken, at one point, probably all four were playing for India. I think I remember David, Dodda, Srinath, Venki all playing for India at one time. I mean, that for me was probably the difference between the sides. I thought on par with regards to batting, both sides, extraordinary batting sides. I felt that maybe Tamil Nadu had a slightly better spin attack. Keeping Joshi aside, Joshi was obviously par excellence, but otherwise, I thought Tamil Nadu had better spinners. But I think my reading of cricket and domestic cricket is if you don't have good fast bowlers in domestic cricket, you will struggle. And I thought that's a shortfall that we've been having over the years. But again, tough to have fast bowlers from Tamil Nadu. It will be a challenge for us.
Interesting. Hemang, you are forgetting a Karnataka spinner who won them a Ranji final with a magnificent spell in Bangalore. He's
Oh boy, oh boy! Don't get me started here. Don't even get me started here.
RSI
If I
game, you
say
got out for
something,
me bold.
how much did I get? Can you also tell them that?
And because Karnataka didn't give bowling, you got so many runs.
Because Karnataka didn't value you as a bowler and they never gave you the ball. If they thought of you as a bowler, they would have given you the ball earlier.
You got out your part-timer, man. What, man?
Vijay, but you have to
Is
tell
that
us
the
about
first time someone's got out to a part-time? Have you never got out to a friend?
But you guys have
It's a
spoken
journey that
about
a
this.
batsman goes through. We've all been there, done that.
Yeah.
You guys have spoken about this Tirunelveli game. It's very interesting for me. I'm looking at the scorecard, and not even 2 innings were completed. I mean, Karnataka batted first, scored 439, and then Tamil Nadu didn't even finish their innings. Now,
No,
what happened?
you should rephrase this. You should just rephrase this. Karnataka batted, they batted, they batted, and they batted. And they kept on batting.
I still remember after winning the toss,
I remember
Hemant,
it was almost 2 days on the field.
first over, one of my opener gets out to Kumaran and slips. Probably that's Girish Rao, I guess. I went into bat in the first over or the second over. I batted till the next day tea. 2 days.
Yeah, you have batted. I mean, the scorecard says you have batted for nearly 9 hours, Vijay.
Yeah, that's a record, in fact. I stayed on the ground for entire 4 days. After I batted, when I got out,
There was a time in that.
they declared, and then we fielded for the next one and a half days. I don't remember, but even one innings also didn't complete. That was actually a shared points kind of a match that was, and I lost my bat. Someone flicked off my bat in the dressing room while I was in the tea, and then they have recovered it later, and then they've stored it in the dressing room right now. It seems Suresh Krishnan was telling me about.
That must have been from our side. They would have said enough of bloody batting. 9 hours is batted, let's take away. It's batted, but put it away somewhere. But tell me the score. What was the score that game? And how many overs did we field?
So Karnataka made 439 and 205 overs. And Tamil Nadu made
Lord, that's like 2 days
overs.
Plus.
Yeah, 2 days plus. And then Tamil Nadu made 225 and 139 overs, which is 1.5 days almost.
Imagine the crowd.
Lord. And see, that means we've been both playing at just about 2 runs and over. Poor crowds, man. If there were any watching the game, they would have slept off. They would have really slept off.
And I'm also seeing you were exactly right. Kumaran bowled 48 overs. Vasu bowled 56 overs. And Dodda Ganesh bowled...
Vasu at least bowls a bit of spin.
Yeah, Vasu spin, yeah.
Yeah, Vasu, when he gets tired he'll go to spin. Kumran can't go to spin. He has to keep running in and bowl.
No, now I can tell you openly, Sid, probably, I can tell you openly, only bowler whom I have feared in the domestic circuit. I've played some of the best spinners, even Kumble. He was on our teammate. He was our teammate, but we never played against each other. But having said that, only bowler who threatened me was D Vasu, man. I don't know for what reason, but on a turning track, he was deadly. I played him on a turner. I played him on a flat track. And I played others also, someone like Sunil Subba, Hirvani, Raju, with due credit to everybody. Vasu was irritating, man. Seriously.
That's an interesting term. Was he?
I mean, one game he shouted at Sunil Subba, "Hey, you know how to bowl left arm spin. This is how you bowl, not like that." He was telling Sunil Subba.
So actually, for listeners who haven't, who aren't aware, and for people like us who haven't seen much of him, would you say that Diwakar Vasu was more one of the earlier versions of, say, like a Ravindra Jadeja, a very good bowler and also an exceptional batsman lower down the order?
No, but yeah, he was good in the sense that he could bat well, he could bowl well, he could bowl left arm spin if required. Initial years, I was told that he had a good mean bouncer also as a left arm fast bowler. I kind of missed that bit of his career where he was actually quite lethal with the left arm medium pace also. But Vasu, the left arm spinner, for me was quite a tough challenge as Pinga mentioned, especially on a rank turner. If there was a turning wicket, he was probably the toughest to play. And my reading to that was primarily because he was a faster bowler. He used to bowl left arm spin also at a faster pace. And on a turner, there was no time given to you and the ball coming at you a little more quicker than the normal left-arm spinners. It kind of darted off the surface harder. It bounced more. As a left-hand batsman, it would hit me in the ribs, come into me and hit my ribs. You wouldn't have time to really negotiate it. You wouldn't have time to adjust because there was too much speed on the ball. And hence, I thought Vasu was a handful left-arm spinner. But Ravindra Jadeja, similar kind of mold. I would just say the difference probably is Jadeja a far better fielder, but Vasu was more than a useful cricketer for Tamil Nadu. I would say with the ball, left arm spin, I haven't seen him bowl medium pace that much, but as a batsman and there was a game in Ranji Trophy. I think it was against Goa in Tamil Nadu. He went into bat without gloves. He had a sore thumb and he said, "I will not bat." Yeah, that also happened one game where he wore shin pads and played. And one game because he had a sore thumb, his thumb was a bit swollen. He refused to wear gloves. He went into bat and played without gloves.
Oh, wow.
So that was Vasu for you. He was a freak who could do a lot of things.
Yeah, and Vijay, as you mentioned, you said that he was one of the toughest bowlers that you faced, and especially on a turner. And he was also, at least looking at the scorecards, he seems to have been somebody who raised his game against Karnataka. And similarly, I think even Robin Singh, who whenever he played against Karnataka, it seems that Robin Singh was quite a threat for you guys, right?
No, Robin was a fighter, man. I know. He played spin very well, and then he used to release the challenge. And I still remember that 94 game you're talking about, no? We had given them a target of 111 in about 10 overs, if I'm right. 10 or 11 overs. In that Ranji Trophy game, in the last, I don't know why we declared. They almost went for the chase. First ball hits the spinner out of the ground, and everybody is on the line. So I was just wondering why we declared in a 4-day game. We were supposed to just close that game. So VB Chandrasekhar comes in, Robin Singh comes in, everybody is logging. Then Kumble bowled few white balls with short of length deliveries, and then we somehow managed to draw that game after being on top, after that Jashwant's 100. So Robin always inspired Tamil Nadu to do well against us. But for me, Vasa was the one who was terrific on the ground. He was inspiring others on the ground. He was very vocal about it. He used to show a body language which could definitely inspire his own teammates. And we could feel that. Sometimes, when he went overboard, if the things didn't do well for him, he went against his own bowlers. Like he used to tell them how to bowl, how to field, how to set fields. He was so involved in the game. He was so intense. That was the one which was very positive about him. I liked him a lot, man. I like the challenges. You can't have people who are sore, who are boring, who do nothing. Hello, Bhaiya, how are you? All those sort of things will definitely not encourage you at all. Sometimes it gets so boring, but the challenges wake you up. And that's what I said. Any encounter with Tamil Nadu, and the players made it like that. The players were so intense, they were so terrific. Even the present lot, or probably 2-3 years just before what we played, we had Vinay Kumar and team. They were so intense in Karnataka. Abhimanyu Mithun, they played with a lot of passion. KL Rahul, Manish Pandey, Karun Nair. They raised their game when the opposition was really good. And lower quality teams never inspired them.
So talking about the younger guys, it takes me to the last bit of my career when I was playing for Haryana, and we were playing at Rohtak, probably the toughest surface to play in India.
Yeah.
And again, Karnataka side, even there, though I wasn't playing for Tamil Nadu, I still could sense the same thing. Oh, it's Karnataka again. At the fag end of my life, I'm almost done and dusted, half in the grave. And even then, I had this thing against Karnataka. Even that game at Rohtak, I got 90 or not out. It was a thing that was a lifelong thing for us. Whenever we played Karnataka, I remember a game which was a KSA trophy game. Second innings, I got 100 against them. I remember a game at Moinu Dawla, we playing at that Uppal Stadium against Karnataka, again 100 over there. So the point is not about these hundreds I'm scoring. The point is that wherever we turn out to play against Karnataka, there was this extra eagerness to perform, that extra enthusiasm to go out there and get those runs. I can't really pinpoint and say why and what, but there was always this extra hunger and desire to succeed against Karnataka.
So, Hemang, Vijay has spoken about D Vasu and Robin and things. Can you name one or two cricketers from Karnataka who you felt were, some of the most threatening opponents and some of the most difficult to play against?
I always thought Joshi was a very, very fine left-arm spinner. I thought he had the skill, he had the guile, he could bat lower down the order. I've seen him score runs when it really mattered. An odd 40, a quick 50, 60 odd. He's got more runs against other sides also, no doubt. But I thought Joshi was one. I always enjoyed the fierce battles that I had with Dodda and David Johnson. I mean, as Vijay mentioned rightly earlier in the podcast, that you want people like that. I mean, as an opponent, you would hate to have people like that. But you knew that these guys always, whenever they ran in, they meant business. They always were looking to get wickets for their side. Also, felt that Arun Kumar was somebody who was extremely talented. Probably could have, if not for his ways in life, he might have been a little more successful than what he's achieved in life. I thought he was skilled. I remember him from the under 12, under 13 days. I remember the game where I made my debut for Tamil Nadu against Karnataka as my life would start. This was under 12. I was 9 years old. And Arun got 100 for Karnataka that game. And I've known him since then. And I thought that he was somebody who should have gone on to play a better cricket than he eventually did. So I think that he was another guy. Sujit was another great guy. I mean, they were serious players. I mean, you talk about so many people. Anand Yalvagi, he played for Bombay to start with, and then he was a big part of the Karnataka side. Filled that gap for them actually at that point with his off spin. I thought they lacked a little there. With due respect to Vijay Bharadwaj.
I know where you're coming from.
But Anand Yalvagi was somebody who filled that gap. He kind of filled that gap over there. I mean, they had a great side. I was envious of the side, and you know what I enjoyed most against Karnataka was that you would always know that they played as a side. They played together. They were at you all the time as a unit. You would never find that one guy is wandering off, or one guy is not interested in the conversation, or one guy is not interested in staying in the battle with a certain player on the field. Even if they, in the hearts, times I've even felt that Dodda is going overboard or a David Johnson is going overboard, but I would never see them let him down there. They probably would tell him off in the dressing room or tell him something in the dressing room, but I've never seen anyone really tell them on the field that, you know what, calm down, or this is not the way, or let them down. They would be with them, they would go along with them. And I think that was one of the, I mean, yes, serious skills, serious talent, serious players, no denying it. But I think the biggest plus I felt that Karnataka had was their unity in the side, the way they played the game, the way they kept coming at the opposition as a unit. There are teams I've played against, you will have 4-5 guys being hard at you, then the other 4-5 will be just about their minding the business or thinking about their batting or thinking about their bowling and things like that. But when you played against Karnataka, you knew 11 people on the field, you're all the time battling against 11 on the field.
Wonderful. And in terms of the interactions on the field, I'm curious about how. So, what did you guys? How did you guys interact? Was it mainly in English, or did each one understand each other's language? Because I know many Karnataka players understand Tamil. Do many Tamil Nadu players get a drift of Kannada as well, or is it mostly English?
No, I think I did understand Pingas, Kannada. I mean, even a little bit of Tamil that I spoke. I mean, language was never a barrier at all. I mean, you could just understand each other in any ways. I mean, that a mixture of English and Tamil and Telugu and Kannada and everything is what we kind of spoke. I mean, I obviously can't speak as fluent Kannada as Vijay can speak, but I can understand what he says. I mean, even if he's giving me gali, I'll pick it up as to what he's trying to say. So
I think in the context,
if I said something,
yeah, in the context of the game, everyone will get it.
Yeah, in the context of the game, you would get it. You would see in the way that the other person is aggressive, his body language. There are enough giveaways for a person to understand, is this person calm right now or is he actually very worked up right now?
Yeah, Vijay, is it the same feeling from the other side as well?
No, the advantage with our Kannadigas is that we can understand any language. Telugu, we can understand. Tamil, we can understand. Marathi, we try and understand. But for me, I can understand Tamil anything because people here watch movies. They have a lot of interaction with Tamil guys. So it was difficult for the Tamil Nadu players to give gali because we could understand anything and everything what they spoke. The only thing is that we could not speak Tamil as fluently. I mean, I did not know the difference between Eru and Eranga.
Okay.
So obviously we traveled a lot. No, we used to play a lot of tournaments in Tamil Nadu. We went to Kumbakonam, we went to Chennai to play the Buchi Babu. There, if you don't converse in Tamil, you are feeling out of place. So obviously you had to learn a little bit of Tamil. But my own relatives are staying in Raipeta in Chennai. So every day they used to speak in Tamil. My aunts are all in Tamil Nadu. So for us, some of the cricketers, Tamil was not an alien language for us when it comes to understanding. But to speak, it was a little tough. So.
Wonderful. Yeah. And I guess the experiences in Chennai First Division and everything would have definitely, brought on quite a bit of Tamil knowledge for everybody. And of course, in Bangalore.
No. Thank God Vijay Bharadwaj did not play in the domestic Tamil Nadu league. I did not want to have any more leather hunts. I have run enough. He's made me run enough on the field. Enough. Thank you very much. Domestic cricket is enough for me. I don't want him in the league. Thank God he did not play the league cricket. Imagine in the Chennai Elite, he again making it for 100, 150 overs and all that. No need. Thank you.
But I always appreciated you, Hemang, for your kind of batting and the kind of competitive spirit anyway.
No, that feeling is extremely mutual, but I did not make you run as much as you made me run. Sorry.
Thanks. Thanks, Sid. Hopefully you enjoyed our conversation.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful conversation.
I really can't get over the Tirunelveli leather hunt of 205 overs. That was inhuman.
I think on the next episode
you cannot make a side be on the field. You can't make a side be on the field for 2 days and plus. It should be a new rule in domestic cricket. If a side bats for 2 days, the match is called off.
I think on the next episode, I've decided that I have to get David Johnson and Dodda Ganesh to come on, and maybe you guys can also come, and then we can have an even more spicier conversation.
So you'll go back.
No. That conversation will never happen because those two guys will only be talking. For all you know, Siddharth, the language that they use, you may not be able to put the podcast live.
every line will be beeped. All right, wonderful. Thank you. Thanks so much, guys, and hopefully we'll have you on some point in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
have a great day. Thank you.
We'll get you a filter coffee.
Good, Macha. Good fun, Macha.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it.
India have won the series. They're going to get back for two. India home. Lords goes wild.